Hi, and welcome back to the Grammar Studio for part 7 of Present Perfect Simple. Yes, we're still on Present Perfect Simple. What are we doing today? We are announcing unfinished situations and repeated actions. Well, first we're going to ask questions. What does the old man ask?
How many years has it been?
Did you hear that?
How many years has it been?
How many years has it been? So he's asking about the number of years. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe in a period of time. But I wonder what the start of that time is. What do you think the start time of that period is? Well, can you finish this question? How many years has it been? So present perfect simple, because we're talking about the past until now. How many years has it been since we last met? So that's the start time. Start time is since we last met. That's a specific event at a time when they know. You and I don't know, but they know. They can identify it. But they're asking how many years? 1, 2, 10. So we're talking about a finished quantity since a time in the past until the present moment. What's this woman's question?
How many times have I told you?
Did you hear it?
How many times have I told you?
How many times have I told you? And listen to what happens with the d and the y sounds together. Told you. So as you know, I've always said, when you're listening to these new phrases, if they're new, just try and repeat them and start at the end and work backwards. So start with told you, told you. Have I told you? How many times? Have I told you? How many times have I told you? Listen again.
How many times have I told you?
Well, I think she's going like this. And I wonder what the period of time is. I think it's all his life. How many times have I told you since you were born? How many times have I told you in all your life? I wonder what she's telling him. Well, let's find out. So is she asking about how many times she told the boy something at a specific time in the past or between a specific time in the past and now? Yes, between a specific time in the past. And I think it's when he was born or when he was old enough to understand. What do you think she is telling him? How many times have I told you your hands before meal times? Were you ever told that as a child? Yes, how many times have I told you to wash your hands before meal times? Maybe that's what she's saying. Okay, here's a woman who baked some cookies yesterday. Now in Britain and Ireland we say biscuits, but we also say cookies. We understand the American. So she baked some cookies yesterday. Now she notices that the cookie jar is nearly empty. What does she ask the man? Now, when people are angry, they tend to speak more quickly. So listen very carefully.
What?
How many of these have you eaten?
Did you hear it?
What?
How many of these have you eaten?
How many of these have you eaten? And notice how she says eaten. It's not eaten, it's eaten. Because the t is followed by a n sound. And when we get a t and a n together, there isn't time to say eaten if we're speaking quickly. So how many of these have you eaten? Is she talking about the number of cookies eaten at a specific time in the past or between a specific time in the past when she baked the cookies and now? Yes, it's B. It's over a period of time. Can you finish the question? How many of these have you eaten since I baked them? And here, can you notice how I say baked? I don't say baked because I'm saying it quickly. I say baked them, baked them. It's hard to hear these sounds sometimes. Now, what does the man ask?
How much have you heard about it?
Did you hear that?
How much have you heard about it?
How much have you heard about it? Now, why is it much? Why is it not many? Well, it's because it's uncountable. So we can't count whatever he's talking about. So is he talking about how much the man heard at a specific time in the past or between a specific time in the past and now? It's B again. Do we answer these questions in present perfect simple? Usually yes, but if we start to give the detail, then we use the past simple. For example, the woman says, "How many of these have you eaten?" And the man says, "I've only had one." Okay, maybe I had a few this morning with breakfast. Well, in the grey area, there's always a grey area, and I deal with this in a separate video also. But in the grey area, in America, they might just say, "I only had one," not "I've only had one," because they're only focusing on the past when they say that, and not on the connection with the present. Can you complete this dialogue? How many books have you read this year? And the answer? I've read a lot of books, so answer in the present perfect simple also. Which one your favorite? Now we're asking for detail. It's either about the favorite now or the detail at some time in the past. So which one is your favorite or which one was your favorite? And he says, I read one about pirates. I think that one is my favorite now or was my favorite when I read it. Okay, I hope that's been useful. If so, please like and subscribe and share it, and see you next time. Bye bye.